Hi, I'm Ron Tanner from House Love, and today we're in the back of our custom camper van, and we're going to talk about plumbing. This van is really small, but we were able to put a toilet in the back, and a toilet in the back of your van is a tremendous convenience. So let's get started. The basics of plumbing in an RV or camper van are very simple. For starters, you need a water tank for fresh water for drinking and a black water tank for your sewage. Now, when we're talking about the drinking water, we're talking about three things. You need a fill tube, and this is a reinforced vinyl tubing. You can find this at any hardware plumbing store, very simple stuff. So the fill tube and then the draw tube. We'll talk about the draw tube in just a minute. But you also need a vent to release the pressure, because as you're filling the tank, and that's about 60 pounds of pressure coming from your faucet, all that pressure is building up, and you've got to have a vent so that the air is escaping. If you don't do that, you will blow up your tank. Actually, this happened to me. This happened to me the first time I had the tank. I didn't know there was not a valve, an air valve, a pressure relief valve on my tank, and I blew it up. So again, fill tube, draw tube, and a vent. So we have a clean water tank, a black water tank, and a gray water tank. And we have a fill tube going into the clean water, a draw tube coming out, and then a vent. The draw tube, pulling water out of the clean water tank, is connected to the water pump and filter. And the tube coming out of the pump is going to be branched. It's going to be in two branches. One branch is just going to come right up here to the toilet. The other branch is going to go back to the sink and the water heater. Now, the branch coming up the toilet is very simple. This is a line that you can get at any hardware store. Just make sure you know what the size of your fitting here is at the toilet. It's probably 3/8. The function of the toilet is as basic as can be. It's just like the old outhouse. There's no difference. When you're flushing your toilet, it just opens up and the dirt goes into the black water tank and you're done. That's it. And to empty your black water tank, you'll need a sewer line like this. You can find these at any camper, van, RV store, and they'll show you how it works. Very simple. And again, it's just all about gravity. That's how you empty the tank. So the fill tube takes us to the water pump, and it draws water through the pump. And don't forget, there should be a filter attached to the pump. Once we leave the pump, we attach to a T, and one side goes to the toilet, and the other side goes to the sink. So here's the pump installed. The draw tube takes us to the water filter, which is attached to the pump, and then coming out of the pump, we tee off, and one side goes to an on-off valve that takes water to the toilet. The line going to the sink ends in an on-off valve. Then we tee out. One side of the tee goes up to the cold water faucet. The other side of the tee goes down into the water heater, and then we have a line from the water heater back up to the hot water faucet. Don't forget, you have to have an on-off switch near the sink to control the water pump, because you cannot keep the water pump on all the time. Now, the great thing about a water pump is it gives you constant pressure. Here's what it looks like under my sink. We've got the draw line going to the on-off valve, and then we tee out. One goes up to the cold water, the other goes into the hot water tank, and then we have a line coming back out of the water tank up to the sink. And this is what the whole unit looks like. It's a 2.5 gallon point-of-use water heater. Let's talk about this PVC line coming down from the sink. You have to attach the gray water tank to the sink. And remember, you have to have a trap in the line to prevent the gas and odors from escaping from the gray water tank. You also have to vent this pipe. The most important thing to know about your plumbing system is that you need vent lines. That's what these are. And you have a vent line coming from your gray water tank. That's the water that you're using at your sink. And that's not the sewage water, but that's just the dirty water that you're using. So you need a vent coming from that, and also you need a vent coming from your black water tank, your sewage tank. So we have the black water tank attached to the toilet, and then we have a vent line coming out of the black water tank, going up into the roof, And that vent line is also attached to the vent line coming from the sink. Now what the vent does is it allows oxygen to get to your sewage, to get to that smelly water. And it creates more bacteria which will decompose that stuff, which keeps it healthy, and it keeps down the smell as the stuff is breaking down. The other thing the vent line does is it draws out what smell there is and takes it out of your van. And we all want that. And at the top of your van, you have a single vent line coming up through the roof of your van, about 4 inches above the roof. And then you'll have some kind of venting device. There are all kinds made out there. And the venting device allows air to get to your gray water and black water tanks and keep them healthy. What you do not want to do, I repeat, you do not want to do is put bleach down there or anything that would kill that bacteria. You want healthy bacteria because that will keep down the smell, because the bacteria is eating all the waste product. Now, I took this van on a 10,000-mile trip across the country through the summer, through the hottest parts of the country, 120 degrees, never, ever had a smell problem in the van because I'm well vented, and I do not kill my bacteria. I do not put anything down there that's going to kill the bacteria. That's very important. Dave Barrett of Plasma Tech Customs built these tanks of heavy gauge aluminum to fit where the spare tire used to fit. The inside of the tanks are coated with a potable water marine epoxy. The outside is coated with a spray insulation called lizard skin ceramic. Also, the tanks have electric heating pads attached to the bottom to keep them from freezing. All right, so there you have it, plumbing in a custom camper van. My name is Ron. Jill is my partner. We are House Love. You can find us at www.houselove.org. Good luck with your project.
It's a wonderful world. I'm just walking on air. It's a wonderful world. I've got more than my share. Baby, I must be lucky through and through. It's a wonderful world.